morning.
Welcome to Carpool Convos with Lis and Deb.
Ooh, on a very rainy day. Off and on St. Croix. It's wet.
Yeah, well, it's been, it's the end of what I consider to be rainy season, and what all she didn't give us in the beginning, she is rolling it out at the end.
Yes.
Because like every day, just about,
it's been raining.
Like deluge, and then,
Yes. Makes the frogs happy.
Oh,
You notice that?
I hear them. There's so much.
When it rains, the frogs get loud.
Yeah, they're like excited.
Yeah.
Lots of frog concerts going on, and actually other animals as well. I mean, birds, not the usual. Like the chickens are always in concert, but when it rains, it's these other birds that have these small trilly sounds, and it's really sweet.
It's delightful.
Yeah, we have a lot to be grateful for here all the time, and anyone with a cistern is thrilled. Some maybe overly thrilled because it's
much overly thrilled.
it's seemed too much. But yeah, so with this, we usually talk about something that we are interested in, that we feel has some value, that we can share with you, and our years of experience and wisdom, we always hope to infuse our conversations, with that, and hopefully spark conversations for you in your own life and in your own circles, regardless of your age. These are the big years. I heard that this week.
The big years.
A lady says she's a wonderful content producer, and she says the big age. I'm at the big age now, and I thought that was just so delightfully cute.
I like that one.
Right?
I'm
at a big age now.
I'm at a big age.
Yeah, golden years. I always talk about the ways that I hear people describing it when you're in your 50s, 60s, and beyond, because it tickles me so much how many different ways we get to describe that. And I'm not outing Liz as to her age or anything like that. I'm only focusing on myself because I didn't ask her permission to say anything about where she is, and you can't tell from the youthful glow where she is. So
Don't look at my neck.
Oh, look, it's fabulous. Whatever it is, it's fabulous. Because you're alive.
Yes.
And you are a ray of light.
And my brain still works.
That big, beautiful brain is always working.
Brain still works.
I'm affirming that all the time. Sometimes it works on its own schedule and in its own way to distract me from stuff, but it's working.
Yes.
And that's something to be grateful for. So we usually alternate with what we're gonna talk about, and sometimes it's hard to come up with a topic. For me, I don't know about Liz, I started writing stuff down, right? Because we get here, or I'll have it in the week, and then when I get in the car, because that's Carpool Convos, we're always driving somewhere while we talk, and you get to see all the beautiful scenery. If you look out the window, the back window, you can see a little bit of what it looks like here on St. Croix in the Virgin Islands of the United States. So
yes,
I right before we turned the camera on, I said to Liz, I had a couple of different ones that I was deciding on, and so we decided on sorry, I'm only seeing one of her eyes, so I'm trying to do that. I decided to go with how do you talk to yourself,
which is very important.
That's what she said.
I was yesterday meeting with a mom and a 10-year-old little girl, and it came up because she was describing herself in very negative ways, describing herself as fat, not fat, healthy but not fat, and so helping to talk to her. And it's one of those, it is an issue when I meet with people, encouraging them to be kind and gentle. Kind and gentle with the way that you speak to yourself in your head. Because it's significant, you know? And those messages, the things we repeat so often, they come from outside of us. We've taken them in somewhere. Our growing up from our caregivers, messages we get from popular culture, social media, and then we describe ourselves that way.
Yeah, I had to give a little on the popular culture, social media.
Yeah.
Because, too often they are not positive or welcoming or affirming. A lot of the time it's that we need something or some sort of coercion to buy something that's going to make us something that we're not, that we should desire to be, and then we're shooting all over ourselves and not appreciating all that we are and all that we have made it through to be more of our true and best selves. So I feel as though you hit it right on the head there when you talked about how often what we hear and what we're encouraged to think about ourselves is lacking in some way. You know, and it's not only the messages that the way we talk to ourselves, is the way that we are encouraged to talk to ourselves. So in popular culture,
Yes.
it's not enough of the, you know, yay you, yay me. It's more the, well, if you did this thing, or if you bought this thing, or if you had this procedure, or if you, you know, changed the way you look at X, Y, and Z, join this group, then somehow or another you'll belong. And the belonging in this place that you're not belonging at this time becomes the goal rather than the acceptance and the self-affirmation that, hey, there may be some things that I want to
Yes.
improve about myself. That's my choice. That is my my vision of me being even more of who I truly are to be. And it doesn't matter, or it doesn't mean that I need to add something to what I have from the outside.
Or to change, because that idea of the things we need to buy or the things we need to have, and that somehow we are not enough just in the way that we were created, that we are. And those voices get in there and warp the way, or cause very negative ways of thinking about oneself. You know, I'm not smart enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not thin enough, I'm not enough.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. And I wonder if, as with the worst case scenarios, if we could bring some attention and some loving attention to the best case scenarios. What if I am enough? What if I change my definition of what enough is? Because guess what? I got it. Oh, I know how to get it. You know?
Yeah. Or for today.
Right this very minute.
Because this is what we got.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah. Yeah. I am enough. I have everything that I need to take me to the next step in my journey. And what I don't have, I will become. I will get, because I'm on the way to making it happen. All the time. All the time. If there are things in your own behavior that aren't serving you, you know, and we all have things that we think to ourselves that's the part I really want to emphasize in this conversation, is what we feel about ourselves, not because of some outside influence, because they're there, they're always going to be there, and it becomes exhausting to constantly be changing what I think the best of myself is because of something somebody else said or produced, or it's the comparison that makes it exhausting and is debilitating, distressing to the spirit. You know, if your only competitor is you, then you've got it, no matter what it is, because you're not running up against somebody else's idea of what you should be or what you should have or how you should act. You know, it's all about you, baby, all the time. You know, and that's not selfishness, that's self-awareness.
Amen. Say it again. Say it again.
That's not selfishness, that is self-awareness. And that is what we want to emphasize in ourselves, you know. And there is a difference between selfishness and self-awareness.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Feeling for yourself first is not selfishness.
Mm-mm.
That's telling you that you need to attend to yourself.
I need some attention.
Right. Selfishness is, I live in a house, everybody in the house loves cookies, I'm gonna eat all the cookies. That's selfish. You know, not sharing the things that you have more than enough of.
I'm gonna hide this away because I don't want anybody else to have it. It's all for me.
But there are times when you may feel selfish about your time.
Oh.
And
that's a good thing.
But when you need time to yourself, that's not selfish.
No, it is not. It is not. Listening to what your mind, body, spirit is telling you about what you're giving to others as opposed to what you are providing for yourself, so that you can be that full vessel, is key. It's very important in terms of making sure that the vessel gets refilled, because you can't pour from an empty cup. I say you can't even pour from a half fill or a 3/4 filled cup, because there's still not enough there for you to be wholly taken care of.
Yeah.
You know, others have to be fed from the overflow. You got to fill that up for you, so you have all that you need in order to feel at your best, to be fully present, to be fully rested and aware and alert and awake, and just fully fed.
And to have good things to give.
Yes, indeed.
Because one thing that has become abundantly clear to me is when you don't have that space inside you, the things you give that are probably not what you actually want to be giving. It doesn't come off well. It doesn't feel complete.
Or even genuine.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're forcing it from some space. Can you think of a time, Liz, when you knew that you didn't have enough of what you needed to give, when your cup really wasn't full, and you still tried to?
Oh, all the time. Absolutely.
It's often.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Not as often now.
Oh, good. Because you're what? Self-aware?
Much more self-aware than I was.
Right now.
You know, that I have to do, and that having to do, because they need me. And even though I wasn't taking care of myself, they need me, so I'm going to continue to give, because they won't have if I don't give. And giving myself away to a place where I don't have enough, enough to feel good about myself, enough to give genuinely. It happened a lot in my 20s and 30s because I defined myself by being a giver and a helper. And when you're a giver and a helper, define yourself that way.
That part.
That
right
piece.
Yeah.
That's where you get your strength from.
And I want to say thank you for sharing that and bringing that up, especially the definition of yourself as a giver part, because there are a lot of us out there that, define ourselves as nurturers and givers. And in those roles that we take on for ourselves, it becomes a push-pull sometimes between what we have to give and how we fill our vessel so that we have what we need to give. And so we'll overlook what we need for ourselves in favor of just give, because why? I'm a giver, and I'm going to get some reward from that. That's not your ultimate goal, but you feel to yourself, the reward that I get, the good feeling I get from this giving is enough. And in truth, it isn't, because you can also run out.
Yeah.
And then what?
And I also find often working with people like myself who are givers and helpers
and in service of others,
always, sometimes we develop also an expectation because we are defining ourselves by this giver and helper. So if people aren't recognizing our giving and helping, where do we get our
satisfaction?
Yeah, where do we get our feedback from?
Yeah.
So giving and helping, absolutely.
Yeah, we're not
Start
saying
with
not to do
yourself.
that.
Start with yourself.
One more time.
Start with yourself.
SWY.
Give and help. So that, again, so that you're filled up. You don't have an expectation of the persons, people that you are giving to.
Exactly.
You're giving from your heart because your heart's full and you have it to give.
Love it. Yeah, start with yourself and feed others from the overflow so that the satisfaction is the healthy one. It's not based on anybody else's feedback of you and your ability to be a giver, a service provider, or a nurturer. Because you need to have that self-awareness so that you can be the healthiest you can be for yourself, and then you have what you need to provide for others and still have that full vessel.
Yes.
So how do you talk to yourself? What are the messages that you give to yourself? Self-love.
Absolutely. And when you become aware, if your messages to yourself are not those nurturing, positive things, I refer to as beating yourself up with the negative. When you become aware of your self-talk not being helpful, open your hands, open your arms, open your heart. Don't get upset with yourself because often the negative self-talk's a habit. It's hard to break habits. So
you can replace them with better ones.
Yeah, just notice. The awareness is the beginning, and then it becomes so much. And I am a testament to this. I talk about it all the time, but how it's changed how I speak with myself is actually pretty fantastical when I think about the work that I've done just in that little area of my life.
And in my experience, it's been a challenge at times because the habit of me talking to myself or talking myself out of the rest, the relaxation, the saying no that I need to do can be a battle. And I allowed the other person's needs to win over my own. And all that did was make me more tired, more, prone to have those negative conversations with myself or to, be resentful, feel resentment of myself and the other person sometimes as well. When they're not even involved in the whole conversation / battle I got going on. It's all me.
It's true.
Yeah. They ain't got nothing to do with it. Don't have not their circus, not their monkey at all.
I had a whole conversation in my head with my mother, and I was mad. righteously justified. Fortunately, when I actually talked to my mother, that was not the conversation we had.
Yeah, because she wasn't even there.
She was.
She did not have a ticket to that dance at all.
No.
You know? Yeah. So it's the messages that come from how we treat ourselves that we want to pay attention to, give some focus to, so we see how those can be changed, how those can translate more to self-love. And I'm not saying that it is something that comes easily, because if there's been a history, a long-standing way of you hearing other people talk to themselves and to each other that are in your circles, and the way that you have been taught to yourself, you gotta do a little work. It doesn't have to be hard, it's just work to change how that goes in your own head. So when you hear that, Stroops, look at you, you always cancel, no, always, really, always, Deb? No, not always, just this particular time. And maybe I want to do something different, show the care that you show to others. See how that could work for you, because if you find it easy to do it for others, put you in that friend group, make you the bestie.
Yes.
And come back to this video if you need a few reminders at times at how that could work out, because you are the oldest, longest standing friendship that you have is the one with yourself. And how can that be the shining example? How can that be the best one that you have that shows you that you can mirror for others? Because you can be your very best friend. You've shown and proven how great you are at doing that for other people. How about doing it for you? Who deserves it more than you?
Nobody. Really.
Yeah. So I'm going to leave you with a loving thought. Love on you. Okay.
All right. May you have sunshine today.
Yeah.
And peace and beauty.
Yeah. And if you've got rain where you are, enjoy that too.
Yes.
All right. Till next time.
Bye.